Whoever's hosting. It looks like
Yes.
started.
Hello. What?
Fine. So
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, what normally takes a half hour was an hour due to the stuff at 85. Yeah. All lanes blocked. Yeah, sorry. It just happens. Hi, everybody. Yeah.
all right. Yeah, I'm gonna get us started here in just a second, but that's okay. I'll run through the director stuff and then we have it.
Yeah. I figured it would, all the information would get repeated one way or the
It will.
other.
You guys, we're gonna start our volunteer meeting here in just a minute. For those viewing at home, please feel free to keep getting snacks. I'm just letting you know we got folks tying in from home. That's pretty.
I was bad and took it out at tops. Because I
This
wanted
is the kind of delightful chatter you can find when you join us for volunteering.
Exactly.
All right, catch up later, sweetie.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, and welcome again, everybody. I'm just gonna get us started, verifying with those watching on Discord that y'all can still hear me well, loud and clear. Thank you, Matt. Okay, great. So, welcome everybody to our first official in-person volunteer meeting for CONpossible 2026. So if you are just joining us for the very first time ever, we welcome you to our wild and crazy little band of miscreants. I am Gabby Isabel. I am the ringleader of this particular circus, and very excited to meet some new folks who are in the audience, as well as hopefully meet some of the folks who are hopefully tying in on the Discord or through YouTube right now. So we're gonna kind of run through some basics about CONpossible really quickly, some information about this year, and leave some time for those of you who are new to get to know some of our directors and ask questions in the chat if you are virtual with us. So once again, this is our first volunteer meeting for 2026, Sunday, September 14th. We're here at the Sonesta Gwinnett Place, Atlanta. This is our host hotel for CONpossible. So our theme for 2026 is Through the Fairy Ring. Again, if you are new to the convention, this is an alternative history and speculative fiction con. So we're anything history with a twist. And starting with our very first show in 2024, we established that this band of traveling alternate historical folks are taking a magical, let's call it a castle instead of a TARDIS because that's copyrighted. But Terminus Manor is kind of our home where we each year explore a new theme, a new area, a new place in time. Some of you might know that previously a lot of the volunteers here worked with the Atlanta Steampunk Exposition. So we are proudly in #EveryPunk convention. So we welcome in everybody from all of the different genres of punk, whether it's steampunk or diesel punk or rococo punk or atom punk, et cetera and so forth. We welcome in everything from that alternate history umbrella. And this year we've chosen a little bit of a magical theme. So with Through the Fairy Ring, our focus is going to be on cottagecore as well as ether punk. And so ether punk is that realm of technology meets fantasy. So if anybody has seen Carnival Row on Amazon, very similar, that fantasy and magical creatures plus the industry of the Victorian era. So all things cozy, soft, welcoming, warm, with magical fae overtones. That's kind of the vibe that we're going for this year. Our dates for the convention are February 6th to the 8th, 2026. That's Friday to Sunday. And then once again, the Sonesta Gwinnett Place, Atlanta, is located right off of 85 on Pleasant Hill Road. And you might hear those references to Terminus Manor as we talk about our little magical wanderings. So we are just coming off of our previous show this past February, where we went beyond the veil and we discussed all things Victorian mysticism. So we are, as far as the lore of the convention is concerned, we are finding our way out of that realm that we accidentally tripped into. We're trying to get back to our regular realm. We thought we got there, but instead we ended up through the fairy ring. So we're looking forward to exploring all elements of that theme this year, and all magical elements of the Fae realm. We will be making the Sonesta our home for quite some time. As they are doing renovations, if you've never been here before, you'll notice some things are changing and being updated, that you don't need to worry there. This will be CONpossible's home for a little while hence. For our programming, our hours of programming roughly start around 4 p.m. on Friday. That is when our vendor hall will open. We might have some light programming before then. Registration will open at noon. And then hours of programming will go late. We usually do a dance in the evening, as well as some other late night events. The vendor's hall will close at 8 p.m. on Friday. Saturday, our hours will begin roughly around 10 a.m. with the vendor hall opening at that time, some light programming at the 10 a.m. slot, and then continuing once again late into the evening with the vendor hall closing at 7. Sunday, we'll try and take a little bit more of a leisurely start time. We might have some 10 a.m. paneling, but most stuff will start in genuine at 11 with the vendor hall opening, with our closing ceremonies at 5 p.m. That will be our very last panel of the year, and everything kind of wrapping up by 6. Those of you who are here who are interested in volunteering, we will have a special event afterwards on Sunday evening. It's called our Dead Dog Party. Effectively, that just means that you came, you worked, we made a successful convention happen, and now we're dog tired and we're going to have some good food and hang out and have some fun with our other volunteers here. So that's roughly the programming hours and the hours that you can look forward to if you join us at CONpossible this year. If you were here last year, you might notice there's some slight differences, a couple hours being shifted here and there. So for those who are returning, some small announcements is we are going to be moving some of the rooms around a little bit. Whereas we have 2 wings of the hotel, we're moving our main programming room, our ballroom, to be over where our vendor hall is. And so that will be right next door, our main programming and our vendors, and then shuffling a couple things around as well. One of the most beloved parts of our convention, our tea room. This is hosted by Jeremiah Kornsman, Maya, the tea czar, as he is known, and also supported by other wonderful tea vendors. And it's one of our cozy areas where people like to go and get snacks and drinks all throughout the weekend. That is going to be in an expanded space right next door to where it was last year, or previously earlier this year. But it's going to be a much larger area, which means we're going to be able to work in more seating and a little bit more of a cozier atmosphere for this year's cottage court. Once again, volunteers get a complimentary tea room pass. So that means throughout the weekend, you get to come in, you get to have some snacks and beverages anytime that you need. Some other things are just shifting ever so slightly. We will have our gaming and our workshops on the other side of the hotel where we once had main programming. But most things will be roughly where they were last year. And of course, we're going to be updating our signage and our maps on the website so that everybody will be able to find everything and everything's going to be laid out appropriately. Hopefully this addresses some feedback that we got this year about wanting some things moved around in larger spaces for our Friday night formal. So we're excited about these updates, and we hope that all of you will be excited about them as well. So we'll talk a little bit about some of the special events that we're going to have this year. As I mentioned, we're bringing back the Friday night formal. So our theme this year is going to be the Fae Masquerade. It works into our ether punk through the fairy ring theme. This is going to be hosted by the Atlanta Historic Dance Society, same as in the 2 years previous. So at the beginning of the evening, we're going to have some performances from Atlanta Historic Dance. Then they're going to teach attendees how to do reels and traditional dances, and then that'll be opened up to open dancing on into the evening. Part of that Fae Masquerade is going to be choosing whether or not you want to be part of the Seelie or the unseelie courts, and we'll be playing with that a little bit with a pre-ball party and reception where we'll hopefully be exchanging little trinkets and talking about the theme a little bit more this year. We are bringing back our Saturday night review, the United Lyceum Theater Music Hall Review. That's usually an 8-performance variety show, and it will be headlined by live music from the Dust Bowl Fairies later into the evening. And so we're excited to have the Fairies coming in and being our live band for this year. We have consolidated some of our rooms because we have moved things around, but we will still have a nice large panel room area where we're looking to continue to do some of the favorite programming like karaoke. We might do some movie screenings or a movie screening or two, and our other not workshops, but our other demonstrations with our costumers who like to bring their big props and big costumes to display and talk about how those were made. So a lot of the same stuff that you have experienced previously, or if you've never been to an alternate history or steampunk convention before, then it's going to be something exciting and new for you to see all these amazing big costumes and wild props that our folks bring in for the event. We are also talking about having an art walk where some of our invited guests will have their large pieces on display so that you can see up close and personal. This is kind of a callback to our 2024 show's cosplay museum. So some of our guests of honor and some of our other invited guests will be bringing some of their beautiful props and pieces to have on display for you to check out. And I lost my place in my notes. Yep, there I am. Okay. And we'll also be bringing back our beloved workshops. That not only includes our fabrication workshops that everybody loves to learn things and be hands-on with leatherworking and chainmail and the various different things that we'll have in our workshops this year. But it might also include some tea workshops from some of our tea captains, as well as some author workshops from some of our guests this year. We are proud to have among our featured guests, our artist guest of honor is Amy Brewer Davenport. She comes from the Tennessee area. She makes beautiful, fantasaical, cozy, cottagecore, crazy 3D art and paintings. And so we're excited to have her as our artist guest of honor this year. We are also welcoming John Hartness with Falstaff Books. And as far as our specialty programming, we will be bringing back Madame Askew and the Grand Arbiter as our tea ambassadors, and they will be doing the teapot racing and the tea dueling and the other fun contests and things that we like to have each year as part of our individualized programming. That's not all, of course. We'll have many more guests and many more panels to announce in the coming weeks. That gives you a little taste of what you can look forward to in 2026. Um, for those who are joining us again from last year's show, we are going to be doing a little bit of updating. Mainly, this is based on your feedback, and we want to thank everybody who did provide feedback on their experience. We got a lot of great feedback, and I'm very excited about that. Offering the same benefits that we did last year with of course, you get your badge when you volunteer with us. You get an exclusive pin. You get that tea room pass that I mentioned. We also like to give out swag if we have any swag from our sponsors and our vendors. We also do the Dead Dog Party, as I mentioned, and we're hoping to provide a little something on Thursday night for those who help with our load in that evening, but details on that will be TBA. We are updating some of our offerings this year. So one of the questions that we got, since we do have a base membership price that we like to keep right where it is so that it's affordable for everybody. And then we have packages people can add on with food and beverage. The questions that we got are our 2 evening events, the Friday night formal and the Saturday night review. Do volunteers get to attend those, or do they have to purchase those tickets separately? Volunteers do get to attend those. So if you have a volunteer badge with us this year, you get all of your general admission items, as well as you get to attend the 2 evening events as well. So just to clear that up from last year, we are kind of focusing in those a la carte ticket options and adding a few more meal options because those are very popular. We're going to be adding another Saturday afternoon tea service. Or possibly Sunday, actually. I shouldn't say Saturday until I've spoken to Mac, but we're going to add in another afternoon tea service, as well as offer a lunch option for folks who were interested in that. So that's some of the adjustments this year, some clarification on last year, since those were new changes for our 2025 show. For our statistics, just very quickly, we were very excited last year to have 63 members of our crew, roughly, give or take. You all helped make the show happen, and we're all very appreciative of that. We are looking to expand our crew this year. We have openings, that is, in our volunteer ops, our charity events, our registration, our disability services, and our tea room staff. So if anybody is interested specifically in those departments, we do have key openings there. But of course, we always have openings in other departments as well. So please don't feel like we won't welcome your application if you apply for a different department. We always need folks in all of our departments. We appreciate folks who are also willing to be runners, check on rooms, do route head counts, etc. So when you fill out the volunteer form, you will see that we have a section where you can choose your top 3 choices for where you would like to be placed, and also a little dialogue box where you can give us your comments, questions, or concerns. So if there's something that you feel like you would especially like to do, you can always put that in the form and let us know. But we would love to discuss anybody who's willing to join those 5 departments, because Jeremiah keeps telling me every year he needs more staff in the tea room, and I'm going to make it happen this year. So those are some general notes about some clarifications and updates, as well as restating what we did last year. And as far as what your requirements are, we usually request about a 12-hour minimum for the weekend. It's approximately a 4-hour shift each day, but that is flexible depending on the department you're in. every department's a little different, as well as far as your needs and abilities are. So um, that is pretty much just the base recommendation that we request. And then, of course, you get all of the incentives that I mentioned earlier, as well as the longer that you volunteer with us, the more things you get. You get discounts on future memberships, future tickets, and we'll be doing appreciation events going forward each year as well. So we hope that you can join us and be part of our crew. We would be very appreciative. If you are just joining us for the first time, I believe that the volunteer application is linked in the Discord, where if you're viewing at home, it is fantastic. Thank you, Owen. So you can find the volunteer application in the Discord. If you're watching on YouTube, that link is a bit.ly link, bit.ly. It's 2026 volunteer 2026 capital VOLUNTEETEER. I can spell, I swear. So 2026 volunteer. So go ahead and fill out that form. Introduce yourselves in the chat if you are joining us on Discord, and feel free to ask any questions that you might have. That goes for everybody in the room, of course, as well. If you are new to us, feel free to ask any questions that you might have, and we'll be very happy to answer all of your questions. As far as other details, really comes down to we have, I just have some teasers effectively, which is just what I already mentioned. That's the end of my notes here is teasing some of our event for next year, which I did earlier. I chatted way too fast. So I believe I covered everything effectively. Did I miss anything? Went much quicker than the director meeting, strangely. It was the dress rehearsal. Um, No, that is also fair. And the directors have a lot more mechanics involved. So yes, if you are just joining us online, I mean that pretty much covers the basics of this year's event. And typically we would love to have the opportunity for you to meet some of our other volunteers and our other directors. You will probably be becoming very acquainted with our communications director, Natasha. She handles most of our communications and keeps everybody in contact with each other. So when you reach out for a specific department, she'll likely be the one that you talk to. Otherwise, you might talk to me. You might talk to Jason Merrill with programming, or Regina with guest operations, or any number of our amazing staff. So we hope that you will set some time aside and come to interact with us and meet with us and get to know us. Did you have a comment? One thing. The improvements to yeah, I already talked about the a la carte. Yeah, the tickets, the clarification on all that. Yeah. See, she keeps me honest. I told you. All right. So for those of you who did join us in person, I've got some flyers up here. Please feel free to take a handful of flyers with you if you want to leave them at a library or another event, or hand them out to someone who might be interested in being a volunteer with us. For those of you joining at home, we'll be posting the forms as well on the website this week, as well as making some of those guest announcements. So our guests of honor and our featured guests, of whom that we're going to have plenty of announcements in the next couple of weeks. Keep an eye on our social media and our website for that. Unless there's anything that any of the directors here would like me to address to the folks watching at home, or if there's any questions from you all in the chat, that's pretty much the long and short of our volunteer meeting today. So I will give everybody just a moment, just in case they want me to mention anything to any prospective volunteers, any needs, any thoughts.
I put the opportunity, the open opportunity.
And the open opportunities in the Discord?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah,
The full stats.
I mean, I can read out the full stats if you would like me to. Jason very, very considerately pulled together our statistics from 2025.
Staff.
Woo. Oh, you missed them. Okay, yeah. Well, then I absolutely I can read them one more time because someone was late. So our statistics from our 2025 show, that is the Travel Beyond the Veil that we've put on this past February. Of course, it was a 3-day event. We utilized 15 spaces here in the hotel. We had 63 crew members, which I do believe I mentioned earlier, but also 76 presenters who presented over 121 events and panels throughout the weekend. So altogether, that created about 224 total hours of programming across all 3 days, which is very impressive. We got some great feedback on the programming that we offered this year on our feedback form, and we're very excited to bring in the same amount of amazing feedback again. Amazing paneling and events again, but hopefully amazing feedback again. We also were able to raise $1,300 for our chosen charity for 2025. That was ROAR. It is a organization that provides relief aid to those in the Appalachian region. This was specifically for Hurricane Helene relief. So we're very grateful and very excited for everybody who participated in our charity auction. That is something that I skipped over, so it's a good thing, Jason, that you brought this up. We do have a chosen charity for 2026. Our chosen charity is going to be The Cottage. The Cottage is a local 501c3 nonprofit organization that addresses, it's an assault center as well as a children's advocacy center. And so the Cottage's mission is to offer resources and services for individuals who have been impacted by violence, as well as assault and trauma related to, regardless of their race, religion, national origin, sex, gender identity, age, ability, and so forth, to create both trauma services such as not only rehabilitation efforts, educational efforts, but also therapeutic resources as well. It is based out of Clark County. And we're very excited to be partnering with them for a charity auction this year. We're very, very much looking forward to publishing some more information about that as well. So hopefully we'll have each year, it seems that our charity auction numbers go up a little bit more. So we're hoping to have another wonderful charity auction this year, as well as various other charity events as well. Any other statistics that I skipped over, Jason?
Nope.
Our
everything.
intrepid programming director.
I mean, aside from all those, we only have one gap.
It's true.
So one gap.
That was included in the numbers. It's hundreds and hundreds of things, 3 days, but only one Gabby. And aren't you glad for that? Okay. So I believe I've offered ample time for anyone to ask questions in the Discord. There's nothing happening over there. So right now I'm going to invite everybody to spend a little time mingling with each other. There's plenty of snacks in the back. Don't be ashamed if you want to take something for the road, go ahead and do so. But once again, I am Gabby Isabel. I would like to thank everybody for showing up today, for coming to talk about the fairy ring, and get excited for our show, which is about 5 months away.
Oh.
So thanks, everybody. Looking forward to seeing you all again soon. And keep in touch. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,